Well, it looks like we're going to try this anyways. It is Sunday, May 28th, and we're going to try doing this whole live thing. It's been a long while since I have done this, and we are closing in on the last couple days here of planting corn for 2023. We're going to start chopping here tomorrow. We're going to roll right into it solid here on Tuesday. We've got a little bit of hay down right now that we're going to chop here tomorrow to make sure everything is dialed in and ready to roll here. So I don't know if I am actually live yet or not. So we're going to go ahead and tune you guys in on the old cell phone here, but it looks like we are. So yeah. The farm I'm on now is, I don't know, 5-6 miles away from home. It's actually right across from my sister's house. I've got maybe 40 acres here or so, 45 acres. Looks like I've got good cell reception, good internet connection, and we're going to go ahead and give it a try here. Earlier I was planting on the farm that Jared lives on, and me and my father got done there, and he has moved to a field that's maybe 3-4 miles south of the farm, and I am, I don't know, 3-4 miles north. So we're getting started here on this 12-acre field, and we're going to see how the old live stream works here with planting along here. I don't know if Verizon is telling me the truth or not as far as what I have for cellular data or internet connection or what have you. So we're going to make our first pass around the field here. Once we get that first pass done, we can go ahead and use the old auto steer, and we can kind of interact with you guys a little more better here. So like I said, this one particular field that I am on, it's about 12 acres. I got 32 or 35 in behind me on the other side of this hedgerow here. And yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. I've got all of the internet that I could need or use or have available to me, but Verizon might be lying to me. There is a cell tower right in this field that's in behind me, and sometimes I've run into this same situation in the past where the internet connection kind of the whole bar thing on your phone or whatever kind of lies to you here. So we'll just kind of have to see how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the comments here. Let's see. Oh, we are here. I got a message. Managing moderators can be. We're gonna close that. We don't need any moderators, you know. I mean, if you guys want to swear at me and cuss and call me dirty words, go right ahead. I don't care. I mean, if yeah. So, somebody sent me a $20 super chat. Pete Nolte, thank you. What the hell? Here's for some non-Bud Lights. Well, yeah. So, I appreciate that, Pete. I gotta turn the volume down. I've got an earbud in here that I can hear phone calls from, and that's clipped to my phone. I had to make sure that I turned the Bluetooth off going to my iPad, which is right here to my right. That is actually running the live stream. And then I've got an additional camera that is on a magnet mount right up on the windshield here. So you get to see my ugly mug here, and you get to see me operating the tractor here. So I pulled out my neon sunglasses because I have my neon t-shirt on, and I figured that everything kind of aligned with it. This is my Newton Ag t-shirt, and it goes very nicely with my sunglasses. These are actually John Deere sunglasses, and they are from Kaz Equipment. I got these at some chopper banquet or something that I went to, and yeah, they ain't too bad, you know. They ain't too bad. They blend right in. They fit with the neon t-shirt, and you know, maybe I should have my hat on backwards, or maybe I should have these big goofy ski goggles on. As far as sunglasses go, maybe I would fit in with the rest of the YouTube crowd here. So you hear some beeping and you hear some tones and whatever, and that's coming from the 4640 here. That is just the the fertilizer system telling me, hey, you got the planter slowing down on one side, it's speeding up on the other, and your flow is not quite right. We're going straight now, so it is happy. Yeah, so we've got a few of you in here, a couple hundred anyway. And once I get all the way around the field, I can go ahead and have the tractor drive this. If you kind of notice, you can see my hand rolling back and forth because I'm actually operating right at the moment here. And I need to make sure that I keep the corn planter out of the dingweeds or the bushes or the trees, whatever you want to call that. It's kind of important to be able to have a planter left over after we get our outside pass done here. Have a planter left to plant the rest of the field here. So I haven't done a live stream in quite a little bit here, and I figured I would check in with you guys and kind of explain what we have going on here, but I think it's pretty well self-explanatory at this point. The last couple videos, I have alluded to the fact that I have trouble uploading these damn videos. Now, if I upload directly from my iPad that is linked to my cell phone account, my Verizon account, if I have not went past the 25 gigabytes of internet, whatever, I can upload a video pretty quick. However, if most of the time I upload off my Wi-Fi connection, I've got row 13's got a row unit controller, meter, motor, alignment error. So I got to check that out. I'll be right back with you here in a moment. I got to go figure out what is going on because it stopped planting back about 50 feet ago. So we're going to pause the we're going to pause the recording around the outside of the field. Need to back up to the point where that went off, which is right there. I'm going to back past it, and then I need to pull forward, get straight, and then line with what we have going on here. Now, I could take the camera out of the freaking tractor here, but you guys aren't going to hear anything because the audio is coming from the iPad. So we can go ahead and take the camera, but you guys ain't going to see any audio or hear any audio. So let's go ahead and climb on out of here, and we'll join up with you with some audio in a hot minute here. All right, we're back at you. There's nothing that seems to be out of line there. So we're going to fire up and see if there's not another issue there. These I got a failed meter motor alignment, turn motor shaft by hand, and power cycle. Contact dealer if problem assists. Maybe I've got a motor issue there. So let's shut down. We'll shut everything off and we'll fire back up. We might not have any more of an issue than that. So, well, I have turned the PTO off. Maybe we'll wait on a key cycle. Turn the PTO back on. Turn the generator or alternator back on. We'll fire back up here. And we'll try this again. Outside of trying. Now, that 13 still has an issue. We might have a bad motor. So, we're going to shut the PTO off. Turn our vacuum off. We're going to clear that code. We're going to shut the tractor down. We're going to let everything shut down. And then we're going to fire back up again here once the display turns off. And we can power it back up. It might have a motor issue. I have not seen this problem yet. We did change out a couple of the hydraulic downforce units. And the one thing I do not have is I do not have a motor that drives the actual unit. The only thing I can do is if this problem reoccurs here, we're going to have to look into it a little deeper, see if we can't figure out something and switch it with maybe one of the other motors and go from there. So we're going to power up our vacuum motor. So we got the left and right side vacuum powered up. We've got our PTO on. That's driving our alternator or our generator here. Turn on solution pump. Turn on the power here. Got a flow detection error because we're sitting still. We're going to go ahead and try that. Planter going down. We had a warning that rows 1 through 16 weren't planting because, for just a split second, because we were in the ground that was already planted. And yeah, that's the first I have seen that error code come up, and everything is going fine. So we have made our first time all the way around the field here. Now we are coming into ground that's already planted. I need to save my boundary track. I'm going to go over here to my guidance tab. I'm going to hit my guidance tab. I'm going to set my track. I'm going to come over here to new track. I have an option between straight track, curved track, circular track. This is a boundary track. So we're going to fill the boundary. It has recognized that there's a boundary around this field. So now we need to save that. And what it has done is it's going to put a guidance track 60 foot off of the outside of the field. That's going to line me up in the center of this tractor, and it's going to take us all the way around the field. Now we're going to have some issues coming into the 90-degree corners, so we're going to cancel the auto steer. Coming into the corners, we're going to pick up, turn around, and we're going to go back the other way. So, for your guys' sake, I am hoping that we don't have the reoccurring row number 1-3 with an issue. So we are now auto steering off of our boundary track. We've got all 16 rows doing what they should be doing, and we can kind of switch you guys from rear facing to forward facing. You guys like the forward facing, or would you rather have the rear facing? We are running in at 4.2 miles an hour. Everything seems to be a little more kosher at the slower speeds. So we got some comments coming in, some questions, some concerns, and what have you. Yes, we are about finished planting corn. We've got a light day today. We've got a light day tomorrow. Where's that going to put us come tomorrow? We're going to have maybe 100 acres left tomorrow. And to be honest with you, I probably won't be planting any of that. My father will probably plant the rest of it. We're going to dibble-dabble with about 35 or 40 acres of hay that we're going to chop right around home. We're going to switch that hay ground over to corn. I'd like to see Jared be able to get some manure on that ground and chop the hay, manure it, flip it over to corn. Then we're going to move 18 miles to the north and we're going to start chopping hay on our farm that is the furthest from us, and that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm coming into this corner here. It's a 90. The auto steer would turn us around that corner, but I don't like turning with the corn planter in the ground. So we're just going to circle around here, and we are right back where we started from. Corn planters into planted ground. Now it's coming in non-planted ground. We are on our guidance track. Bang! We are auto steering. So, yeah, that's what we have going on there. We did a lot of work to the chopper this winter. We put new blower paddles on it, new blower. Oh, we replaced some hoses. What else did we do to it? I forget now. Yeah, the knives were put in it back in maybe before fourth cotton, halfway through third, I forget. But we've got some new components into it, and other than washing the windows and cleaning the dust out of the cab, the chopper is ready to go here. And we did buy a new rock merger. It's a Rock 1150. We looked at that merger at the farm show. Me and Jared and Andrew went out there, and there was 3 items that I wanted to purchase at the farm show, 2 of which I purchased. The third one I did not. The first one was the merger. I shouldn't say I, we is the farm. We purchased the merger, and we also bought a vac truck. I wanted to get a agitator, a manure crawler, but Jared's got that crawler dialed in pretty good that we have, and that did a phenomenal job this year. We have had some problems in the past with different guys operating it, and they just didn't know what they were doing, and they didn't do a good enough job with it, and Jared got that. He did all of the agitating this year on both lagoons, and he had that thing working phenomenal. So I had another super chat come in here, I think. Yeah, Mark Huff. Hello, Andy, from northwestern Ohio. This is for a little refreshment to wet the whistle. Well, thanks a lot there, bud. I appreciate it. So, yeah. So what we want to do, my nephew, I don't know if my brother cut any hay today or not. I think my nephew cut the hay today. And he cut right around the farm, not too far away. Couple, 2-3 miles away is all. And that'll enable us to fire up that new merger tomorrow. Andrew's tickled pink to be able to run that this year. We traded off the 30-foot Oxbow merger. Now, we're going to find out whether or not I shouldn't say I, if we made a mistake buying this merger, it's going to be I. If the merger is a success and it works very good, it's going to be a we purchase. We had 2 Oxbow mergers, and they have worked well, but they haven't worked that great in the last few years here. And the first merger we bought back 9, 10 years ago was right around, I don't know, it was like $110,000 or $112,000, and they're well over $250,000 now. And this rock merger, we were able to purchase it for right around $25,000 or $30,000, cheaper than a Oxbow. Now Oxbow has flexed their muscles here a little bit. They got very, very mad at Miller, or not Miller, H&S. I think there was another manufacturer that they infringed on their design patents or whatever, and they went right to court and they sued these manufacturers. H&S, I think there was maybe Kuhn, I don't know, whoever else. And H&S and Kuhn had to stop making mergers for a little while, and they had to redesign the design that they were currently using. So you might ask, gee, why don't they sue Rock? You know why they won't sue Rock? Because Rock, R-O-C, came out with the merger design before H&S did. But Rock believes that it's best to have good, clean competition, and they are allowing Oxbow to be able to manufacture the merger the way they're manufacturing it. My thought is, I think Oxbow, and this is my thought only, I think they're getting a little too big for their britches here, and their equipment has got a little expensive. But we're going to see. If this Rock merger doesn't do the job it's supposed to do, I'll eat all my words and I'll say that, Oxbow's the best thing going. They are a rugged unit, but they are built awful heavy. And when we fire this Rock merger up in the field, we'll kind of discuss that as we go. So, yes, it is a Memorial Day weekend. We got some viewers from Germany. Yes, PDAR mergers were getting tired, but we rebuilt them a couple of different times. We actually went all through them, replaced all of the cam followers, the bearings, all of the teeth, and what have you. And it just happened to be in the last couple of years we had accumulator issues and stuff like that. And Oxbow, they just did not want to come to the table to help figure out, what accumulator is weak. What's going on with this thing digging in the ground so much? There's got to be just something simple. And it'll take us 2 weeks to do first cutting, and it takes us a week to do each cutting after that. We cannot dibble dabble and trying to screw around with what these mergers need for repairs when it only takes us a week to do this. Hey, if they want to come and work on the merger for a day or two, well, after they come a day or two after we call them, and it takes them a day or two to get it going, and then we run it for a day or two, and we realize that, hey, whatever you did to it didn't take care of the problem. Guess what? That cutting of hay is done. So then we work to the next cutting, and we go through the same damn thing. And they'll tell you when you price one that, well, the reason why these are so expensive is because they work and they're rugged. Well, they work for a certain amount of time, and then after that, they don't work no more. So it's hard to spend that kind of money when you get to that kind of a problem. Yeah, let's see. MJLA Beulah. You'll watch it later. Good to hear that. So we'll just keep plugging away here. I got a phone call. Just a second. Hello? Hey, Mike. Yeah. Okay. Whereabouts are you at? Okay. What about plowing it on an angle? What's it plugging with? Manure? Yeah. Plow on an angle. Try that. All right. Try one pass. If that doesn't work, call Sarah and have her come down and disc it. It's I'll text her. I'll text her and you her number, and then you can be in contact. I'll put hers and Alex's number in there. Uh, yeah. Yeah. But try it on an angle. I didn't think Andrew spread that boxstall manure that heavy there, but if you're plowing it straight, it might be a problem. All right, Mike. Very good. Yep. We'll see ya. All right. So that was one of the guys that's plowing for us, and I'm gonna go ahead and. All right, we got the. Yeah. So I'm gonna text. Uh, Sarah and Alex and Mike. Okay, now, hey girls, Mike is having problems. Plowing. And Zelensky's. He will text you if he needs it disked. Now, he doesn't know what number goes to which girl. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put in this text message here. Which prefix goes to which one? Cancel. All right, so 72225 is Sarah's number. All right, I'm sorry, guys. I am not me. Sarah's number. Okay, so that group text message went out. If Mike can't chisel plow that and have it work with the angle that he needs to try, he'll what do we got here? Yeah. If that doesn't work, plowing on a little bit of an angle, they'll have to go down and disc it for him. They're like 400 or 500 yards away from each other. They're in the same. They're disking in the same area, and Andrew spread a bunch of boxstall manure yesterday on the field that Mike is plowing right now, and Mike's trying to plow it, and the plow is plugging up. Maybe if he goes on a little bit of an angle, he can be diverted from them thicker areas and kind of mix it in a little bit. We generally plow on a little bit of an angle anyways, and we'll plow on one angle, disc on the other, and if we have to make a second pass with the disc, we'll disc it the opposite way we did the first time. So we call it a kidder. I don't know if that's proper terminology out in the big farm ag world there or not, but we need to go ahead and get on the comments here. So I've got to catch up to the comments. So my buddy, which is not too far away from me here, he's got a YouTube channel too, Grumpy Farmer. I actually did just see his message come along, or actually text messaged me. He said, "Hey, you are live." That was going back to when we were initially signing on here. So I've got this one side of the field done. Now we are coming back towards the middle, and we're working from the east side of the field to the west. Number 13 is working fine. It has not shown any error codes, and everything is working great. Now you might be asking, "Gee, Andy, where did your sunglasses go?" Well, I had to put my glasses on to see the comments, and I didn't. I put them back in my pocket. So we got old Ethan Shep here. He hit the old super chat, and he is the Shep operator, and he wanted to make sure everything is going well. So everything is going good right here. Yeah, I took off my Hollywood shades. I wonder if I could put them on over my glasses. You guys wouldn't know any different. Oh my God, look at that. That is freaking great. You guys can't even tell I've got my cheaters on. Oh, that is sweet. Maybe that's why they make these as big as they are. That is sweet. I can actually read and everything here. I got my, yeah. I should have realized that before the camera got back this way, and then I could look cool. Do I even look more cool once I put the hat on backwards? Yeah, I can make myself look even more cool like that. Got to make sure the planter is still behind the tractor. Wouldn't you guys love to see that view? I got the camera going out the front of the tractor, and we passed the corn planter all unhooked in a pile. We had this, I got a funny story for you. We had this goofball. He was, I think he was packing, running the roller harrow, packing wheat ground after my brother got done planting. My father was disking up on the field up above, and he sees this large object out in the field. It's looking down across the landscape. He's up quite a bit higher. It was on stripped fields. He he's looking down. He says, "The heck is that? This long object that was 10 foot long." Like, what in the heck is going on? So he's doesn't he can't quite figure it out until he gets a phone call. This goof says, hey Mike, damn roller came off the roll of harrow. Whole gang come right out from underneath the roll of harrow. This goof went the whole length of the field and back again. He didn't realize he lost anything off of the roll of harrow until he passed it. And he said, "Oh wow, I got something. There's something in the field. It looks like it goes to the roll of harrow." So, yeah. So we run into them situations every now and again. Now we got Andy, the grumpy farmer, has commented. Scrody McBooger balls. Oh boy. Let's see here. Let's see. We had a guy lose the spreader in the middle of the road once. Well, oh boy. That's not good when you lose a spreader in the middle of the road. So, we've got maybe, I don't know, 4 passes left here in this field. We want to make sure that corn planter's working. It would be really embarrassing to get done planting here and then realize, oh boy, damn planter didn't do the job it was supposed to do. But I am running field view on one iPad here. I've got the planter on the 4640 display, so this I shouldn't have anything screw up. We're running a prescription, and it's kind of corresponding to that prescription, and everything looks to be working the way it should be here. So we've got 9 acres of the 12 planted. So we've got 3 acres left. I do still have the issues with the Bluetooth connection freaking coming unglued from this iPad, and I don't know what I've got going on with it. I've talked to FieldView about that. They had me reset some of my settings on the iPad. Of course, the iPad is like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. It could be the issue with the iPad, but it just lost a connection for about 50 feet on my last pass there, and it does get frustrating from time to time. So we're drinking a little Arnold today, in case any of you are wondering. I know some of you have been wondering, how do you keep your whistle lit here, lubricated or whatever. So the iced tea is the drink of choice today. Yeah, so that's not the alcoholic blend. I have poured some out of this brisk bottle here, and I just like drinking out of a can a little better. I don't like taking the cap off this bottle, so what I do is I pour this out into the can, and that works a little better than drinking it out of a bottle. So it's kind of like a sippy cup, if you will. So yeah, we'll keep plugging away here. So where my father is at, he has the fertilizer truck, And what I need to do is keep an eye on my fertilizer. And when I get down low, we'll have him bring us fertilizer, which I filled up at home before I came over here. And I should have enough for about 40 acres. So I should be in good shape here. So I can't believe that we've been able to maintain cell service here as well as we have. It's been 46 minutes, and I can't tell. Can't tell if it's buffered at all. So I just got a text message back from my man that is chisel plowing, and he said that that procedure going on a little bit of an angle is working, and he doesn't need the girls to disc ahead of him. So that's good. We've got that problem taken care of. The field that he's on is only like 9 acres, and yeah. So Andrew was worried that he had a little bit too much manure on that field, but the vertical beater spreader do such a beautiful job that I didn't believe that he would have had any issues. Anyways, the spreaders in the past, whether it be a horizontal beater or the V spreaders, would leave freaking piles in the field, just freaking piles. And back in the day when we had the John Deere Hydro Push spreaders, we used to spread on an angle just so that when we plowed, which most of the plowing we did back in the day was on an angle, or was with a moldboard plow, and I can remember plugging them damn plows up with just corn stalks. And for a short time there, I was burning the fields. I would plow around the outside of the field. I would start plowing the middle. I would get a couple of piles piled up. I would start them on fire, and it would burn the whole field. It was quite the sight. I had cars. I was plowing on the south side of Route 20 one time. I had the field right on fire, and I had cars coming off of Route 20, coming over to where I was at to see what the heck was going on. We had a black lab at the time. She's been long gone for quite a while, but I had her riding in the tractor with me, and she was scared. She was really scared of the smoke. Just ever since she plowed with me that time, she was always scared of any kind of fire, whether it be birthday candles or anything like that. It scared the heck out of her. So she was actually a puppy at the time. So Mike's got that working. I got some other text messages here. Yeah, let's see. Chuck Hainsworth, he texted me and said that he has Elon Musk's internet. What is that? Starlink. I've got to check into that. We briefly talked about that a brief moment ago, and we have Spectrum, which prior to Spectrum we had what the heck was it? It was the TV Windstream. It was not TV, it was the telephone line one. We had Windstream, which was horrible. We were able to get Spectrum after the cable TV line went past our house. So the cable TV line going past our house is brand new. It's only couple 3 years old, and the line coming into the house is only a couple years old. We were supposed to have the highest speed internet. Now, somebody commented and said that, gee, you get awful mad about your internet connection, but you buy a piece of equipment that doesn't work and that doesn't make you mad. Well, here is the problem. The piece of equipment, anything that we buy, the guys do, they try to do a good job. I understand that. However, the internet, the problem with the internet is they purposely dial you back. They dial you down. They make you pay the premium price, but they pull the internet capacity down. Now, you guys want to download all your dirty movies and everything else, you guys can download that. You won't see a problem. It's when you upload something, your upload speed is different than download. And that's what, when you're putting the video out to YouTube, it takes me on a 25-minute video, it takes 4 to 5 hours for me to upload that video. So I get home at night, I take what video footage I have from, I don't even know where the heck it is, it's in this bag here somewhere. I take my SD card out of my GoPro, shove it into my iPad, get all the video footage coming back from my camera, going into my iPad, heat my dinner up, start to eat my dinner, and just start putting the video clips together. Get the video done, hit upload. It takes, like I said, 4 to 5 hours, 6 hours. Get up in the morning, check to see if the video is out there on YouTube land. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's still rendering. So I just have to deal with it. It gets about 3/4 of the way through, and then something happens, and it starts all over again. And being that we're off of nighttime hours and we're on daytime hours now, where there's more people using the internet, now all of a sudden the connection speed is so much slower. And then you guys don't get the video by noontime. You don't get it by 7 o'clock. I get home at night, it's still rendering. Still rendering. The video that was an hour and 25 minutes, the mistake I made with that was I had too much information, or too much, the video was too large. That took that video 5 days to upload. Finally, I got to the point where I pushed it to my MacBook, had my MacBook hooked in direct to, it had an Ethernet cable hooked direct into it. In other words, I wasn't using the Wi-Fi connection in the house. And that still took about a day and a quarter to hit the internet. And that just, it just gets frustrating, because then the problem I have is I don't have a sophisticated hard drive system where I could store all these videos and go back to them later. I have to put the footage together, get it out to you guys, and then delete the footage, and then bring in the next bit of video footage that I have. And once I've gotten to the point, didn't happen this time, but I've gotten to the point before where I couldn't download anything off my cameras because there wasn't the capacity in my iPad, which I have a 12.9 iPad that holds, I don't know if it's a 1 terabyte. 1 terabyte iPad that holds quite a bit of video footage. However, the drone videos, I like to keep some of them around so that I can make a montage video, which I haven't done in quite a while, because I need to store all those drone videos, and then if I make a music video, I have the stuff there. But again, it eats up a lot of data. I had a viewer from Texas that stopped in, rode in a chopper. His kids rode in a chopper. We actually went out to dinner one night, and he sent me a 10.5 iPad. And I took, and I did not, it was a 512 gigabyte iPad, and I didn't put that on my iCloud account just so that I had additional video storage. So I've got 2 terabytes of storage with the iCloud, which my 12.9 iPad is hooked to it, and I'm boring you guys with all that. And that 10.5 iPad is on its own gig, so I can store quite a bit on that. So we are done with this one piece here, which was 12.4 acres. So we fold it up. We got to step through the hedgerow and unfold again, and then we'll do the same thing with this field here. I need to use the men's room here. So we're going to go ahead and get unfolded. Wing wheels down. Set the 3-point hitch down, and we're going to unfold. So that's how that happens. Pulls the tractor back some. Got about 400 gallons left in that front tank. Yeah. We'll idle down. We'll go ahead and change fields on our display. This is 259. We've got a boundary around it. Oh, I need to go over to my setup page here. I can't remember if I downloaded the prescription. We are new work. The last time I had anything, I did anything in here was the 26th of May 2022. We're looking for 259. I don't have a prescription for 259. Agronomist, I'm going to have to kick him in the, yeah. So we're going to have to go over to our file manager here. We're going to go ahead and go over to here. I'm going to type in 259. 32 acres. We need to say yes. The variety is a Pioneer P126-7Q. We're going to confirm that on all 24 rows. We're going to import from received files. We're going to go ahead and see if we can find 259. 259. Downloaded the 11th of May, 2023. So we're okay there. Right there. We need to get out of here. Get me out of here. Come on. Come on. No, we don't want that. We want setup. We'll go into our variety. Now, why is 259 not showing? 259, there it is. So we have a prescription for the 20th of May, 2022, and we have a prescription for the 11th of May, 2023. Now, we're paying all this money to our agronomist. We'll see if this, we'll check the prescription for 2022, and we'll see if that alters in any way from 2023. So we've got some red and some green there. I made a visual of that, so we're going to press save. That's the 2022 prescription. Now we're going to go over to the 2023. 259, 5/11/2023. I wonder if they copied and pasted from 2022. Oh, wow, that is a little different. That is just a tad different. So our multiplier is at 100%. Out of range, we're going to be planting at 30,000 seeds per acre. Minimum is 32. No GPS 34. The max we are at 35. This marginal ground. There we go. We're going to hit OK. We've got our prescription dialed in. Now, I'm going to go ahead and utilize the little boy's room. If you guys can excuse me for just a minute. Now, some guys, they claim that there's a little boy's room between the tires of the tractor, but I don't have time for that. So we have a balcony and we use it. All right, so we utilize the balcony. Only little girls need to use the stall that is in between the tires or between the tracks. So, all right, so we're going to put this in plant mode. We're going to go over to here, and I have stated this before. I like to record a new boundary every time I pull into a field, because I can never remember whether or not, and we're going to face you guys forward for a brief moment. Right at the top of this hill here, there's a little bit of a valley. I need to drive up here a little ways for you guys to see that, and I probably shouldn't even plan it. But they were able to plant right through this wet spot, which is between this little tiny knob that's up in front of the tractor here and the upper one that is almost at the tree line there. So we're just going to jog over here. We're going to get ourselves lined up with the driveway or access road, if you will, to this cell tower. I think I had some drone footage here last fall of these guys working on this particular cell tower when we were, what the heck did we do? Did we chop this? I can't remember. But at any rate, we combined this. Yep, we combined it. I do have a video from Andrew getting stuck. I think it was the first time he ever got stuck, and that was in this field. It was the day after we got the brakes done on 9320, and he was over here spreading box stall manure on this particular field, and he got stuck somewhere in the middle of the field. So I forget where my train of thought was. I don't even know if I've got you guys still on here, but I don't know what the heck they were doing with this particular cell tower back last fall, but there's more than just cell phone stuff on these towers. There's other, I don't know if they call them factories or what, and they could be anything from security companies to weather stations or what have you like that. And I can't quite see the top of this thing, but some of these cell towers, if you pay attention to them, have like, wow, several different things mounted on them because they end up selling, I don't know what the heck they call it, real estate or whatever. This one's got, oh my God, this one's got probably 30 or 40 different factories on it. So, yeah, we're just gonna get around the outside of this field here. We'll get this boundary recorded, and then our next time around, we will be able to use auto steer to get us around the outside of the field. Now, I have still been able to maintain like all of my cell bars. I've got 4 or 5, however many there is. There's all of them. But again, I don't know if the cell, being that we're so close to the cell tower, if that's given us a false reading here or not. So we're going to delve into the comments here. Probably slowing down the internet. Do I still like the Ford truck? You know, I do like the Ford truck. It is a comfortable truck to drive, but you know what else is comfortable to drive? My 02 Chevy. And on top of my 02 Chevy, my 2022 Ram is comfortable as well. I don't really have a preference either way of what kind of vehicle I drive. couple friends of mine have GMC. They actually both have the same colored truck. 3/4 ton or 1 ton GMC trucks that look great as well. And these guys have had Fords and they've had Chevys, and these GMCs look nice. The one thing they have not had is I don't think either one of them have owned a Ram before. The EMF off the tower is real. It costs around $635,000. I didn't know. Yeah. Somebody did the head gaskets on their 79 F100. What's in that? A 300 straight 6? The 8295R, ironically enough, that tractor got sold while we were renting it. I probably should request that we get some commission out of that. Oh, that's I shouldn't go there. I tried to say that because of our video. Someone realized that Kaz had that tractor for sale and they were interested in it, bought it. But no, a farm north of us ended up buying that tractor, and we ended up renting a 70, I don't know if it's 7230 or a 7270 from Kaz, and my brothers ended up spreading fertilizer with that. We got the 7290 back yesterday. My brothers got that on the Haybine now, and I'm pretty sure my nephew cut hay with that today. Either that or my brother cut with the 7930. So Kaz did the transmission on it. They did have some problems with getting some parts, and they got that together here yesterday morning. My brother called Jake somewhere in the middle of the week. He says, we're having some problems getting some parts here and there. He said, when are you guys going to cut hay? And my brother says, well, we want to maybe cut first of the week. He says, I will have that tractor done by noon on Saturday. And they had that tractor done at noon yesterday. And my brother took my nephew over there, and my nephew drove it home. They hooked it on the mower, and when I drove by the farm, it was hooked up to the mower, and it looked like it had been out cutting hay. All right, John R's got the 300 straight 6. I had a 300 straight 6 and an 86 F-150. Best as I could tell, it was a pretty good, yeah, thought that it was a pretty good engine. Adam Poirier saw the tractor on the 70, on the fertilizer spreader. No, it was a 70, I think it's a 7270, if I remember right. But yeah, that worked out well to have been able to actually rent a tractor from Kaz. To be honest with you, I wanted to still have my hands on that 8295. We kind of wanted to see what it was like, or what it would be like to use an 8000 series tractor on a Pottinger mower. Now, we just went by this house right here, and well, can't see it. Oh, my father's dropped off the fertilizer truck. So, this house, my sister and brother-in-law live across the road, and they ended up buying. Oh, my brother-in-law is right here. He's got a refreshment for me. I need to go and grab it. Oh. Alrighty. Sorry about that, folks, but yeah. That is my brother-in-law there. But yeah, he, the gentleman that used to live in this house passed away, and it's right up the road from his house, so he bought it. He actually bought the house from my brother. My brother owned it, and yeah, decided to sell it to my brother-in-law. So there's my sister there. She's gonna check on my brother-in-law. So, yeah. But they live just right across the road, right at the edge of this field, right straight across to your right. That's where they live. My brother-in-law owns his own plumbing business, DRC Sales, and his oldest son, helps us nights and weekends. And his oldest son works for him for his business. So I know somebody asked a while ago, how many siblings do I have? I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers, aged in that order. Bridget's my oldest sister, the oldest sister. She's younger than I am. I am the oldest of 5. It goes Bridget, Katie, brother David, and brother Richard. So, yeah. So we are almost all the way around this field here. And this lays wet up kind of where that clearing is, where it goes through the hedgerow to that other field. And very rarely are we able to farm through that. It's probably going to be a mistake planting corn through it. This is a BMR silage variety, and we will chop this. Last year we combined it. The year before we chopped it, and we dump wagoned about every bit of corn out of here. And I did have a video or two while we were chopping this. I don't think I had any drone footage, but this is usually wet right here. Usually we circle to the left, circle around till we get up to that next knob there, and we haven't been able to farm through this wet spot here. Sarah called me yesterday when they dissed this, and she says, "Hey, this is dry enough. I'm gonna get it done." So, well, okay, alrighty. Doesn't hurt to try it every once in a while. A little wet right there. We clawed through it, but we got it. This here, they injected manure on, and Mike came in and chisel plowed the headlands, and the rest of this field they just used the pottingers on. They actually ran the pottinger discs over this twice. There was some stones that the boys had to come in and pick, and they came back in and disked in the tracks. So for this ground being combined, there isn't any cornstalk material here left over. So we are just about around to where we dropped the planter in the ground. Share a tone here in a second. There we go. We'll hit save on the GPS. Around, yeah. Then we'll come over to here while we're traveling around the field, down to this corner. New track. Boundary fill. Hit next. Hit save. Now we got a boundary track. Now what we'll do is we'll get up to this corner here, and we will drop the planter on the corner. Then when we make our way all the way around, we'll be able to pick up at that corner. And then I'll make a straight track, and we'll start planting on this side of the field. And we'll work our way to the south. So we'll get lined up here. Our guidance track is going to shift from the outside round to the inside. Bang, bang. Corn planters down. We're planting corn. Steering is set. Hands have been removed from the steering wheel. We can kind of show you back this way too. Yeah. Now we're going to kind of watch this corn planter manipulate this corner here. Now we could put a GPS receiver on the planter, and if there was any side drift at all, it would kind of correspond to the tractor, and it would make the tractor respond directly to what the corn planter's doing. In order for the corn planter to for the tractor to compensate for the corn planter turning corners, we have to set our different dimensions in, whether it be the center line of where the receiver is on the tractor, the receiver from the receiver to the hinge point on the planter. What in the heck is that all about? I pulled my iPad. It's running field view right off of the mount because cord that is plugged into it got hooked around my armrest. Need to get that there. I don't know if that's going to work. I have the charger cord that goes from, it's supposed to go to the iPad, is plugged into a cell phone that is stuck to the front windshield there. So at any rate, we have the dimensions of the, where was I at here? The hinge point where it pivots off of the 3-point hitch. Then there's another measurement that you feed in from the 3-point hitch pivot to the control point of the planter. That's where the seed comes out. And as long as it has those measurements running around a corner, it tries to do the best it can to keep your guess row as close as it can. It's not completely accurate. It won't do a 90-degree corner, but a slight turn, it does pretty good. Make sure I don't get my cord over the top of my armrest control unit here, and then we are back down again. We're down in the bottom of this field, and there's about 5 corners to get stepped around this actual headland here. So I got a nice blue light from my brother-in-law here. It is a little different kind than what we've got in the cab here, but it's cold, and it is a flavor that I like. So my brother-in-law has been a Bud Light drinker for 35 years, 30 years, and he lost interest in it. He does not like that kind of beer anymore. I wonder why. So he has come over to the other side here, Blue Light. So, yeah, we like Blue Light, Canadian beer. Oh, that's nice and cold. It's better than the warm Busch Light that I have in here. So, there has been a lot of controversy here lately with that whole debacle with the, I don't even know if I should talk about it. I'll be shadow banned for just the mere mention of it. I'll be shadow banned. But the going bull crap that's going on, I mean, it's silly. It is really silly with what's going on. And my kids are young, but they are also past that point. I feel sorry for any young couples that have young kids that are growing up now that could possibly be influenced by this freaking crap that is out there. And I just love the fact that, wow, it's too bad that that company had to go down that road, but it's great that the consumer has educated themselves to the point where I've got to be careful here because we talk about this too much and you guys won't see me anymore on this platform. But at any rate, it's great that the consumer has smartened up and has kind of taken control back into their own hands, if you will. So, beer flavored. Take a swig for us, Andy. Imagine that feller prancing across the field. Oh, yay! What a freaking nutcase. What a... Oh, it's comedy at best. It is comedy at best. But leave it alone. Are you getting it? Yeah, Andy would say, "Are you getting it yet?" Yeah, Grumpy Farmer. If any of you guys haven't tuned into him, he does a pretty good job with old Jimmy, doing the live streams here and there where they get things all riled up and they go right after the bloke crap that's going on, whether it be the old the whatever 19 pandemic that we went through here 4 years ago, or this damn situation with the Anheuser-Busch. So, at any rate, yeah. Yeah, Adam says, we all know what I'm trying to say. Exactly. That's what's great about you viewers. You know that all I need to do is create a dot-to-dot puzzle and you have it all figured out already. I can't believe, every once in a while I still get comments about the election that happened 3 years ago when I planted that design in the field. Now we'll talk about that for a second. We'll try to talk about it in code. When I did that design in the field, I kind of knew where and how I would be perceived in the higher echelons view of what I was trying to put in that design that was in the field. So what I did is I called it, I think the title of the video was, "This is how crop circles are made." And every so often, I get a left-leaning idiot comments on that and says, "This is not how crop circles are made. That is no way, shape, or form." Step back a minute here, sir, ma'am. However you want to identify yourself, just step back for a freaking minute. I guarantee you that crop circles, for one, are man-made. Two, I did not want to title that video in any other way. I wanted to leave it askew so that the regular viewers are just going to watch it and they're going to see what they see, and that's what it is. I didn't need anybody new coming into it and figuring out, oh my God, we cheerlead for the other side and this is horrible. I didn't want to go down that road at all. But if you go and look at crop circles themselves, they are, for the most part, man-made. You'll see a field in the middle of frickin' who knows where, a huge field, and you'll see tracks in through the field where a sprayer came in. You'll see those tracks. And then all of a sudden, you'll see the spot where the crop circle is made. And these people want us to believe that an alien life form came in or whatever and produced this crop circle to mean something. Well, I guarantee you, somebody came in, they were able to walk in on the tracks that the sprayer made, and they came in with lawn rollers or whatever, and they rolled down the whole crop. Or they came in with herbicide and sprayed a pattern in the field to create whatever design they created. Now, when I made that design in the field back in 2020 that had a certain individual's last name in planted in the field with 2020, I did it with this planter. I did it just by driving the corn planter. Guys that make corn mazes. In the past, they've made corn mazes with lawnmowers and with using a herbicide, whether it be, and I'm going to say a bad word, Roundup or glyphosate or what have you. They can go in and they can make their design in the field by either mowing it or using herbicide. With these high-tech planters, you can do the same thing. I did not take the time to do it with the computer. I could have put the design on the computer and I could have just planted the field, and the independent row shutoffs would get to that particular point in the field. They would shut off and then they would start again, and then you would have your design in the middle of the field. When I did this with this planter, I shut off 4 rows on the right, 4 rows on the left, and I drove. I blocked out my letters, and then I did my numbers. I created a ledger. I knew where to start and stop the letters, and that's how I was able to get my spacing. I just wanted to describe that, hey, knuckleheads, don't believe too much in this. Some of these crop circles could actually be man-made, and the hate mail I get from going down that road is just about as bad as the political side of the design that I put in the field. So there is what you call there is an app that any of us that put videos out, or any of you guys that are on YouTube here, it's called YouTube Studio, and comments that come in are basically on a timeline, and you can get, the most recent comment. You can read that comment, and they're for various videos. It could be somebody that just seen a video from 4 years ago, and comment today is going to be put in the timeline of somebody commenting on a video that I released yesterday or today, if you will. I'm kind of rambling on about that topic, but every so often I get to laughing about the politics side of that video that I did, and the crop circle side of it, because every once in a while I get questions from you guys. Hey, you gonna put a design in the field at all? No, I'm not gonna go there. It creates too many problems. The soft people, the really soft, tender people, get hurt from you revealing a side that they are agreeing with, if you will. So it's just best to leave it at that. And most anybody here kind of leaves that alone anyways. It's just, you don't want to call sides. You don't want to relate that you're on this team or that team, and look at what it's done to not only the political side, but the other side of things, the other part of this conversation, the company that produces this stuff that went down that other road, and look at what it's done to that as well. Yeah, so we'll leave it at that. Yeah. There you go. Oh boy, I tell ya. All right, so we've made a full revolution all the way around the field. So now we are going to start going back and forth. I have a guidance track already in here. So we're going to jog over 3 or 4. Start in. And then what we can do is I'm on the north side of the field. This guidance track started on the south side. So we're going to have some rows shutting off on this north side of the field. So it looks like we're parallel. It looks like this field, both sides are parallel with each other. So I shouldn't have too many short rows. It's just going to be, it looks like maybe 7 rows of that last pass is going to be planted. I'm looking at the map here. Great Meow. Going up across there. I better write down the acreage. Alright. What are we on here? 263. I need to change my pen color. So 259 was 12.4 acres. If I don't write that in, I'll forget. We use the iPad for our notes section. Got a fancy iPencil here. If you guys aren't using one of these things on an iPad, you don't know what you're missing. I didn't originally have an iPhone, but I bought an iPad some years ago, mainly to be able to use it with this Field View thing here. And I keep notes on an iPad. I use Notability, and it just goes back and forth between the iPads I have, my iPhone, and I can scroll through all the past years of planting logs going back 5-6 years here. So, yeah, somebody's just recognizing that my sunglasses match my t-shirt. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. But one thing you later guys don't realize, and that is I have readers on underneath them. I have just discovered that I can put my readers on underneath here, put my fashionable sunglasses on over the top of them, and then no one knows that I am cheating. So these neon green glasses are John Deere glasses. I got them at a chopper clinic that I went to that Casanova put on here. Oh, it was the winter of 2022. And I was like, you know what? They're kind of silly. Maybe they're glasses that a girl would wear or a little kid. And I threw them in my bag because I usually don't wear sunglasses. But in the event when I have this neon shirt on, I figure, hey, I can wear the glasses and I'm matching. So, yeah. So we've got one full pass that we're going to be able to get down here on this one side here. And then, actually not. It's going to be a full pass, but my next one only comes up a little ways here. So, I can't believe the phone's not. Okay, so let's get into some comments here. I have cheated you guys a little bit. So, Matater asks, do we have to pay for subscriptions for GPS? Yes and no. If you use the standard, well, there's a couple of ways of answering this question. If you use the standard GPS, in other words, I have GPS that is on this 4640 display, and John Deere's changed things a little bit. The standard flat rate GPS, once you pay the unlock fee to get the GPS to work, which essentially is on the display, which has to work on a tractor that is auto steer ready, there is no subscription fee. However, we buy two higher accuracy subscriptions for when we plant corn. It's a quarter. You can buy a quarter. You can buy it in. You can buy an annual subscription. You can buy a half-year subscription, or you can buy a quarter subscription. And I buy a subscription for two receivers for when we plant corn to get a slightly higher accuracy GPS signal. This is sub-inch accuracy, which is almost like the RTK level. Now, I'm running a 6000 receiver on this tractor that is SF3 capable. So we're running an SF3 subscription on this receiver. The tractor my father has, he's running a 3000 receiver, and he's using SF2. That was the highest accuracy rate or accuracy range that you could put on that 3000 receiver back in the day. Now they have a 7000 receiver, and that is right dead nuts on. That is the highest accuracy range, and it is as good or better than RTK, which it doesn't require a home base to work off of. Some of the larger farms that had a larger amount of their acreage within, say, a 3-mile radius of their home farm, they would buy an RTK receiver, set that up on the edge of, well, several different ways you could have used it. You could have had a home base set up right at home, and if you were within, say, a 3 or a 5 mile radius of where you had that set up, you had RTK on your tractors, and it beamed off of that receiver. Or you had to set the receiver up near the field that you were in. Now with a 7000 receiver, you don't have to do that, and it's a little more accurate. I had ordered a 6000 receiver back last summer, and it got almost to the completion of the order, and John Deere canceled it. The reason why they canceled it was because they were discontinuing the 6000 and introducing the 7, and I never ended up reordering to get the 7000 receiver, which is around 8 grand, I think, 76 or 8, 7,900 and some change. So, yeah, that is expensive. Those Joe Biden's new sunglasses, the ones that he dropped when he was in Japan. Looks like Shakin' Labatt. I don't know what you're referring to. Oh, this here is fertilizer. Fertilizer on my shirt from spilling fertilizer earlier. Speaking of fertilizer, I'm almost to the point where I need to maybe reload with that, but we are coming into this point here. So I need to travel up to the other end of, we can switch the camera around. We need to travel up to the other end of the field. Right where we are at right now is the wet part of the field, which we don't normally plant, and once out of every 6-7 years we're able to plant through it, and there probably won't be a crop there that we can harvest this fall, but at least we straightened our rows out, and we're working with what we have here. So my throat's getting a little dry. We better grab a little bit of a sip of what's in this aluminum can here. It is 10 after 6 my time. I told my wife I'd be done early tonight. But what time is early, you know? Because that is what she asked me. What time is early? Oh, boy. I'd rather get to the point where we can at least fill with fertilizer, and I can take the fertilizer truck home. That needs filled for tomorrow. So, which view do you guys like better? Out the front of the tractor, or do you like the reverse view coming back into the tractor here? For whatever reason, that is frozen. I don't know why it is frozen. What's going on here? Is it still froze? I don't know what we have for battery life on that. Maybe I paused it. I don't know. But, yeah. Which view does everybody like here? So, switch over to beans. Somebody's switching to beans. We are almost finished planting corn. We've got tomorrow. We can be done tomorrow. So, let's see. Does my mom and dad watch my videos? Pete wants to know. Yes, they do. Tell some good employee stories. Adam, do you want me to have any employees left for tomorrow? Maybe I could tell a couple of stories about some old employees. I gotta think for a minute, because I could write a book. I could write a book. So I got a good story for you. This is we're gonna keep it PG. So we're gonna talk in code a little bit. You guys will just have to kind of understand. So this was probably 8 or 9 years ago. Let's just say it was 10 years ago. The reason why this story comes to mind is because one of the individuals that was working for us at the time, he lives, I don't know if he's living in Ohio now or if he's living down south. He went down south, worked down there for quite a few years, moved out to Ohio, worked there, and I don't know what actual area he is in now, but at any rate, his parents live just up the road here. So it was one fall, and one of the guys that was working for us, we'll just, we should use a name here without using a name so we can keep things square. So at any rate, we'll just have to tell the story best we can without incorporating any names here. So, it was fall time, and down in the area pizza shop, there was this young girl that worked down there, and she was actually dating the guy that owned the pizza shop. So one of the young men that was working for me at the time, he says, "Oh my God, I went down and got a pizza last night, and the freaking girl that's working down there was just drop dead gorgeous." So I'm like, "Oh, really?" So one of the other guys that was working for me at the time, he vouched for that guy. He said, "Oh yeah, this so and so. I mean, she's a beautiful woman." And the one guy that noticed her that told me first, he said, "I got to get her number. I got to get her number." So the following night, he goes back down there, and he says, "Hey, where is so and so?" The guy behind the counter there, I think he was the owner. He says, "Oh, you mean?" Yells out a female name. "Yeah, her. She's off tonight." "Oh, okay." So he was all disappointed. Next morning, he was disappointed. He said, "Oh, I went back down there and she wasn't working." So the third employee, call these guys 1, 2, and 3. Number 1 is the guy that recognized this girl. 2 was one of our other guys that goes down there once in a while. And 3 is our prankster. So guy number 3, he happens to have gotten a new cell phone. I didn't know it at the time what the heck was going on. I heard a little bit of chatter about this nice looking female down to the pizza shop, and that's all I heard. We were working on a spreader. We were getting ready to go chopping corn, and back at the time, my father was doing the chopping. And guy number 3, it was real muddy that fall, and he was running a pull-out tractor. Guy number 2, he's on the bunk. He's pushing bunk. Guy number 1 is truck driver, and we're all working on this spreader. And guy number 3, which I didn't know it at the time, sends a text message to guy number 1. He says, "Hey, I'm so-and-so." Comes up with a fake female name. "I'm so-and-so, and I understand you were looking for me last night." And guy number 1, he gets this text message. "Oh my God, so-and-so from the pizza shop just texted me. I can't believe it." At this point, I can't either. I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" So guy number 3, he motions towards me and says, "Hey, it's not her. It's me." So I'm like, "Oh my God, this is something else." So it's going back and forth. We get this spreader repaired, and we go to chopping corn. Now we got guy number 1's driving truck. I'm driving truck. Guy number 3, the prankster, he's running a pull-out tractor, and the text messages are going back and forth. "I'd like to meet you sometime." And then guy number 1, he's like, "Yeah, I would love to do, this, that, and the other thing, upside down, backwards, over the top of the tailgate of this and the chair of that." And it's just going right back and forth. It's like provocative, like right off the bat, like the discussion that every female wants to have with somebody that she barely knows. So it's going back and forth, and every once in a while, the uh, guy number 3 will take a screenshot and he'll just send it to us, and we all know what's going on. Well, then the next thing you know, there's pictures that are being sent from guy number 1 to this female, and he's wanting pictures in return. So guy number 3, who's playing the female, says, "Hey, my phone, I can't send pictures from it. I can only receive." Now this is 10 years ago, so it's, just think back to the technology of the cell phone era back then. You kind of have to think about that for a minute. So it's going back and forth. Now a whole day has gone past, and there's, texts going back and forth. It's pretty provocative and whatever. So guy number 1 gets done driving truck that night. He's going to get a pizza at night. He's going down to get a pizza. So he had asked the female if she was going to be working. And of course, it's going back and forth. This conversation is going between guy number 1 and guy number 3. Guy number 1 doesn't know who guy number 3 is the female. So guy number 3 says, "Yes, I'm going to be working tonight. Come on down and see me." So guy number 2, he knows what's going on, so he's going to go down and get a pizza too, and he sees this whole thing unfold. Guy number 1 says to the owner of the pizza shop, "Hey, I'm looking for so and so." "Yeah, she's off tonight." "Yeah, I wanted to get her number." Get her number. He's wanting this guy to believe that, he hasn't talked to her yet, or said that, she told me I was to meet her down there or something. So guy number 2 is like laughing his ass off. He's like, "Oh my God." So guy number 1 texts the girl, who's guy number 3, and says, "Hey, you said you were going to be working." Guy number 3 could think like this. I mean, he'd lie like a rug all the time anyway, so it was perfect anyways. He kind of had this stuff all figured out. So he says, "Yeah, I'm sorry, but my grandmother's really sick. She's in the hospital, and I went up to see her." "Well, you said your name was so-and-so, and your name is not so-and-so." "Yeah, I didn't really want to give you my real name, because guy number 1 asked the guy at the pizza shop, 'Hey, is so-and-so here?' 'Don't know any so-and-so.' 'Oh, that good-looking chick that was working a couple nights ago.' 'Oh,' rattles out a name. So now we go into the next day of hauling silage, and it's more provocative speech, and it's going back and forth. And why did you lie to me? And I lied because, you were a stranger to me. I didn't want to give you my real name. I really want to meet you. This, that, and the other thing. And it's just going back and forth. And guy number 1 sends a picture of his hog. We don't know if he had that picture on his cell phone or if he stopped hauling silage and he went into the bathroom in the shop, but he sent a picture. Yeah. And so the guy number 3, he has to forward that to everybody. Like, here you go. At the time, my father, he was in on it too. He was understanding what was going on. And I'd get on the radio and I'd say different things. My mother was riding with my father at the time. And, of course, he takes and fills her in on what's going on. And you can kind of put 2 and 2 together from there without going into it too awful much here. So it's still going back and forth, mind you. finally it gets to the point where it's about 4 o'clock that night. Guy number 1 calls guy number 3's mother and says, "Hey, did so-and-so get a new phone?" "Oh yeah, a couple days ago. Why? What's the number?" She says, "Oh, hold on a minute, I'll look it up for you." Looks the number up, and I can't imagine what the look was like on his face after he realized that he was revealing all of these thoughts with his coworker. Oh boy, that was yeah. Send a picture of the seed too. uh, oh boy, just reading through some of these comments. You want to see a picture of my hog? Oh boy, I'm almost to the point where I need a shot of fertilizer. And I think that's where maybe we are going to call it quits with this live stream. We have been up for 2 hours here. I don't know what I'm going to do if I've got when I have to fill up with fertilizer. It's going to be silent because I'm not going to be able to take you guys with me. There won't be any sound. And we've got 500 of you in here. So what are we going to do? Are we going to keep the live stream going while I fill up with fertilizer? Or should we sign off and we could do this another time, maybe when we are chopping hay? Belch. Maybe I could take the iPad outside. I'm going to make one more pass down through the field and back up through. Then I need to fill with fertilizer. The fertilizer that I'm running in the side-by-side tank up front has got 150 gallons in it, and it looks like I've got about 50 left in the in-furrow tank. So we're almost to the longest part of the lot. My next pass is going to be the longest part of the field. So, Adam says leave it on, so I'm going to leave it on. How far does Chris live from me? So Chris Duffy is exactly 2 hours from me to the east. He lives right off of Route 20. He's about, I don't know, I think it's 4 or 5 miles south of Route 20 in, I forget the name of the town he's in. But, yeah. How much more planting do you like, Annie? How much more planting do I have? About 150 acres, maybe. Oh, anybody wants to bring me a beer, they can go ahead. But I've got some refreshments down under the seat here. It looks like I've got four left. So, yeah. Zip ties and bias plies. Drop the vid. Catch you later. He doesn't put that many videos out. What's he got going on this one tonight? Zip ties and bias plies. He's something else. Oh, let's see. More stories with Andy. I'll have to think for a minute here. I'll have to have one side of my brain thinking about I need the tractor with a beer fridge. Well, let me show you something here. been a while since I've shown you guys this. Whoa. So, I've got, oh, wait a minute, this here. I've got this guy here, which we're going to turn the camera the other way. I need to hurry up and do it here. So we could pull this vent right out of top of the cab here. See that? So now I need to turn the camera back the other way. You guys are going to get a look at my crotches. So we're going to flip this guy upside down, okay? Flip it upside down. We're going to take this guy here, shove that in there like that. So see what I have? I have a 12 ounce can of fine refreshment in the vent. So now we're going to turn this back the other way. Going here, like that. Now we got the hole up in the top of the cab. Bang. Clip that baby right back on up in there. So now we've got a can in there. There's 4 spots. One on each side in the front. Am I lying? I think I'm lying. I'm not sure if these ones here do it. I usually only use this one. But at any rate, you could stick your can of refreshment up in there. Takes about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes with the AC running. And it takes it from piss warm to a nice, not crispy cold, but I can drink this stuff at room temperature anyways. But I don't much mind at all. But it will cool it down to a satisfactory level. John Deere does not make their vents that size anymore. So a 16 ounce can will not work. Only a 12 ounce can. If you're any taller than the 12 ounce can, it won't work. It'll end up hitting the plastic roof liner that's underneath the air conditioning unit. So yep. Yeah, there you go. The only non-man-made crop circle was a tornado. I think you're absolutely right. How many acres of corn this year? Over a couple thousand. We'll leave it at that. Don't get that with a quad track. Well, Tim Jordan, if it is, well, you're right, not a quad track because that 8R cab is different. They discontinued that vent. They've got a different vent up in the cab now. So, oh well. I think they changed that so that they could sell their refrigerators, which I wouldn't buy a refrigerator in a tractor cab or combine or chopper cab anyways. Yeah. The Jamaican farmers up here put their red stripes next to the exhaust to warm them up. You could put on roof extensions to fit larger cans. Wow, that would get too tricky. So we're going to fill up with fertilizer when we get up to the other end of the field here. I can How am I gonna do this here? Oh my god. I forgot to turn, where is this here? Built-in microphone. Oh my god, I forgot to turn this up so that you guys can hear me better. Of course, what you gotta remember is I'm half deaf, so I have a tendency to talk a little louder anyways. And I have been known to scare women and small children. Every once in a while, I'll get a comment about, why do you talk so loud? Everybody can hear you. Jeez. Well, I can't hear all that great, so I talk louder. I don't know. That's just the way it goes. I don't talk real soft like this. Deer must have seen your video. I think so. I don't know. All right, somebody said sound was good. I just increased the decibel level. So we're going to circle over and Phil, maybe I can take the iPad out with me. But you're not going to hear much. I can take the cell phone out. How about I take the camera out and you guys can see what's going on. There's just not going to be any audio. So bear with me. It'll take me 5 minutes and we will fill up with fertilizer and then I will be right back with you here. So we're going to pick up. Now we're going to called selective hearing. All right, so we're going to back up around to this fertilizer truck here. I've got 13 acres left in this field, and I'm on the longest part, so it's not, it's going to we're going to be able to finish this rather quickly here. We're going to put that guy down. We're going to shut our end furrow off because when we put it down, it will keep going. So let's jump out. No audio, just video. Oh, let's see. We need to turn this around that way. We're going to turn this like this. We're going to turn that like that. We're going to take you guys out. We're going to put you guys in this way. We're vertical, right? Okay. I'll be back at you in a minute here with the audio. Alright, we're back at you for a brief second. Somebody didn't back up far enough. There we go. Alright, we are back at you. We're not full fertilizer. We don't need to be. We got enough to finish this and then some. And we won't have to fill up again in order to get this field finished. So we'll step over to this other side here. And now we can get this camera set up the way it needs to be set up. I've got the orientation flipped in the mount, magnetic mount that it is in. So, yeah, bang bang. Make sure I turn my Infurrow on. I almost forgot that. So we've got a switch box right here that I can turn the Infurrow fertilizer on and off with. And then there is, it looks like kind of like a dimmer switch. It's for the markers. It switches the direction of the markers in, it's one of those wheels on that wing. When the frame comes up and down, it touches on to a button, and that opens and closes the circuit to switch it on and off. And that's what closes the circuit to turn our electric pump on, which is on that right-hand wing right there, and that runs the product to the Infurrow tubes that are in. Well, it comes right up top of the, right on the seat firmer, and it's a wide tip. So let's go ahead and get this cell phone turned around here. We're going to flip you guys around. And then we can flip this magnetic mount up on the other way. Yeah, like so. You guys are out forward. And then if I turn this guy back around, you can have rear facing, and then if you come over to this one, it's side facing. So I use what is called, what the heck is this app that I'm using? This is Switcher Go, and it only works with Apple devices, and you can have up to 6, 7, 8 different camera angles. So if you were doing something where I don't know, you could go from all, different angles, whatever. I've used a couple of them in the past. You could have an angle. We could have a camera mounted out on the wing of the corn planter, and we could switch back to that camera. You guys can see what's going on there. The audio, I like to keep the audio coming from the device that's closest to me, because you wouldn't be able to hear me otherwise. The other nice thing about this Switcher Go app to use for live streaming, what we're able to do is provide a better, it's better video quality. What it actually does is it's recording the video, and you get the whole video from start to finish. In other words, if we run into a situation where it buffers or anything, it will have all of the whole footage instead of the stream that you get from the YouTube app, which, if you go into an area where it's buffering quite a bit, it just deletes that where it buffers, and it only translates the video and audio that is and was live. So, yeah. Let's see. We've got Cub Cadet Steve. He said he's down in South Carolina. I got a couple of comments from him saying he's on a big job down there and he's going to be down there for quite some time. How do I keep my teeth so white? Somebody asks. I brush them twice a day. And yeah, you want to stay on, keep up on oral hygiene. Yeah, I didn't know my teeth were any whiter than anybody else's, but you know, as long as we're talking about being white, we might as well be white, right? Oh boy, almost grazed that tree in the corner of the woods there, but we were watching things. We'll put the planter down just a second too late. I was about a second too late there. Now we've got, it went in time. It's got seed going where seed should be going. We got Nevis Nova from Cortland. What's going on? I have never met Jason from Big Tractor Power. Kind of a funny story about him. A year ago this past fall, he had one of the guys he works with came out and did a video on us chopping corn. I had my drone. I let the guy use my drone. Got a lot of good footage. I sent Jason some footage of corn going into the bunk. I sent in some other footage of some chopping, getting done and whatever. And he said he was going to put a video together and release it. I thought it would have been out, you know, sometime in 2021, November of 21, and nothing was ever sent out. Now, he did have one of these guys that he deals with here locally videoed my uncle chopping, or my cousin rather, chopping last year. He did that video, but he never put the video out of us chopping that one day. So it's unfortunate. I was looking forward to see what and how he used the footage. Let's see. Daryl wants to know if we're going to have as much high moisture corn as we had, or did we need the hay? It's all going to depend on Mother Nature. If Mother Nature blesses us with enough moisture at the right time and at the right place, we'll have a lot of corn, and you know, the bunks will get filled with the first majority of it that we have set aside for silage, and then we'll be able to combine the rest. If we don't have a lot to combine, that means that the yield was kind of low and we had to chop more acres than anticipating. TDI says, yeah. Well, which one? Hats off, my friend. It's all about our pets, all of them. Oh, yeah, maybe that is the reason why I didn't have a Yankum rope, Adam. Let's see, we got some military stuff going on here with the vets and whatever coming up for Memorial Day. And hello? I don't know, I got a live stream going. Are you on it? Oh, I'm live right now. I didn't know if you were calling me to tell me I wasn't live anymore. I don't know. Alright, we'll see ya. That was one of my favoriteest viewers calling. He didn't know that we were live. So somebody wants to know, Todd Petrie wants to know if I have any formal training in welding or what have you. I have no training in welding, mechanics, nothing. Neither does Jared. I know we get that question from time to time, and we are self-taught. Jared's a little more tech savvy on the mechanical side of things than I am. He has taught himself everything that he knows. And he actually, I'm not even going to say it. Well, I could, I guess. He actually didn't even finish high school. He got so sick of the liberal crap that was going on in high school. He dropped out in May of his senior year, and he got sick and tired of the crap that went on. And well, what have I got going on here? I got to make sure I plug this phone back in. I don't know, what have I got? I got 3/4 battery on the cell phone that we're, yeah. So he got sick of the bull crap that went on in high school, and he had enough of it. And then all he continues to do anymore is he puts his middle finger up to the educational system, and I think it's freaking great. You young guys that are watching, earphones, Siri picked up on that, and she gave me a definition of age. I don't know. So we don't need that. At any rate, any of you young guys that are watching this, don't let me steer you in any one direction, but don't be taken up with the whole notion that you need to have a higher education than high school, grade school. You do not need that. Go out and learn a trade. You'll be far better off than your counterparts that screw around, go to college, party it up, spend their parents' money, spend their future wages that they will never make out in the real world, and you'll be better off. Just learn a trade. That there's no one doing that stuff anymore, and you'll be far better off. So, might try Mike Less. Mike Less, I've talked to him a few times. He is now working for Deutz. He was working for what the heck was that tractor manufacturer? At any rate, one of our area dealers just took them on, and he no longer works for him. He's working for Deutz now. Let's see. Adam says every single one of his friends that went to college did nothing with it, and all have debt. Didn't go. 33 and my house is paid for. That's exactly right, Adam. Oliver says you should finish high school. Yes, by all means, finish high school, folks. It is the most fun you'll ever have in your life, and potentially going to college too. That's one thing I didn't do. I didn't go to college, and today I wish I went to college for one reason, but maybe I wouldn't have been still with my wife, and that was actually the best thing that ever happened to me. And but yeah, you could kind of put the dots together there. But at any rate, finish high school, take or leave college. Don't feel bad if you don't go to college. And if you are in college and you don't feel it's working for you, Don't be depressed about it. Walk away. Walk away. I don't know how many teachers, when I was growing up, drove it into everybody's head that if you don't have a college education, you're going to be nobody. Well, that's simply not true. Versatile, that's right. That's who he worked for, is Versatile. Let's see. Dropped out of your senior year, got sick, had to go to a 4-year college, never be anything. Yeah, that's right, Jeremy. That's right. Yeah, that's right, too, J. Lou. Kids owe the public the civil duty to finish high school at least. But, yeah. Nolan Kinsey says he was drag line and manure. Enlist in the military. That's another option too. I mean, there is boys that went into the military that came out as men, and some kids need that in their life to grow them up a little bit. That is for sure. Yeah, there you go, Jesse Stolfus. So we'll just keep plugging away here. I am down to, I got 9 or 10 acres left. The field view just kicked out again. Hasn't done that only a couple of times in this field here. How many times do I have? Yeah, that is the first time that has done that in this field. Somebody commented here in the video I had out yesterday or the day before about it happening to them as well, and I don't know if they got something figured out with it or what, but I got to get to the bottom of it because it is frustrating, and I am to the end of the season here, but now this field view works on the chopper, and we're going to run it in the chopper as well to just kind of keep track of hay yield and whatever else like that. It's just nice to have a yield map working in the background. No, let's hope they don't come out as a transgender. Let's see, working on farms, got a CDL instead. You're glad you got that. That's good to hear. Let's see, somebody applied 9,000 gallons to the acre of hog manure. Are you working inside of a CAFO? Was that a recommendation? See, we got Bill Murphy. What's going on? Yeah, that's bottom shot. I'm kind of there with you too. It's yeah. All right, we're on our headland pass here. All right, we'll go back the other way. Let's see, somebody is asking why expanding the farm so much bigger is better, but is at a risk. Well, we've got a lot of family members that are coming on here, and we kind of have to have enough to go around here. That's why We are expanding. We have been expanding ever since I was a kid. When I was in high school, we were milking 100 cows. Now we're milking 2,000. So, yeah, it's just the nature of the beast here. So you keep growing. Let's see, we got Jerry in Hugo, Minnesota. Ron says my shades almost match my t-shirt. We were talking about that earlier. That's why I'm wearing them. I'm trying to, well, the shirt is probably getting screwed up with the sun. The sun's coming right down at us here at a pretty good rate, and it's probably throwing off the fact that my glasses and my shirt are the same color, but of course you can't see that. I do have my reader glasses on underneath them, just in case you want to know. So, yeah. Let's see, a civil engineer has made more hands than a trade they need a tradesman for. Yeah. How many total acres left? Jared Higgins wants to know. There is about 125 to 150. Now I might have said that. I might have said 200 earlier. I might have said 100 earlier. I'm kind of guessing, so we don't lie about anything here. We don't have to feed you numbers to make things appear to be bigger than they are. We don't exactly want to tell you the real number. We actually will tell you a number that is smaller than it actually is. But and there is reasons for that. Some people that aren't farming as much get depressed that so-and-so is bigger than they are, or someone that is larger looks down at you and says, hey, I'm growing this many acres, you're smaller than I am. We're not into a dick measuring contest here, so it is what it is. No one should feel like they're any better or any worse off than they actually are compared to what their neighbor's doing or what some idiot is doing here on YouTube, meaning me or any other YouTube person here. So, should not matter how many acres anybody's doing. Anybody that tells you a number and keeps on telling you a number is probably lying. Yeah, just putting that out there too. So, am I gonna upgrade? I can't see what that says. Upgrade 12-row planter. We haven't figured out exactly what we're going to do with that planter yet. My father has had his frustrations with it, but some of the frustrations are just the learning curve with how the planter works and runs and whatever else like that. John Deere has only allocated a few planters for each and every dealership in the Northeast, and we have put it out there that we want a price on either a puck or a new planter. Puck meaning a planter upgrade kit. That's what we put into this 16-row last year, and we have been real happy with it. This planter it had 7 seasons on it before we put that complete upgrade kit into it, and it has done a phenomenal job. We have had some minor issues. You'll see that in the next couple of videos here coming up. We had to replace a couple of parts on it, but I go into a little bit of a discussion talking about the pros and cons of the naysayers who like the fact that they don't have any electronic equipment on their planter compared to those of us that are dealing with the electronic woes. And it's just an argument that they like to have over this technology. There is a couple of guys here on the internet that have had problems that they didn't quite understand what exactly they were working with, and it took them a lot longer to get through the problem they were working on. And you look at what they've done in the past, and it's like, how are you letting this stump you that much? It seems like you're tech savvy and you should be understanding this, and they're not. And it kind of makes you wonder if the rest of what they're doing is, do they really understand what's going on? Because you kind of got to think about this stuff as you're going, and you can have it stump you, and you just have to think about how the whole system works, and you'll understand it. And it's no different than dealing with a smartphone today than dealing with an analog dial-up phone that is on the wall in your grandmother's house. If you look at a smartphone and you say, that is ridiculous, it's got me flustered, it takes me 25 minutes to figure out how to make a phone call, that's basically the same mentality as someone that is preaching to you about the technology and a piece of equipment today compared to something that was made 40 years ago. It's the same difference. You want to say that today's technology is no good, but yet you're watching this video on your smartphone and commenting away on that same smartphone. If you don't like the technology, get rid of your smartphone, because you're not making any sense here. Yeah. Let's see. James, thank you. You love the channel. Watching from my couch in Florida. You're doing it all wrong, I know. Learn it and move forward. That's exactly right, Adam. I mean, every step of the way. The newest and fanciest piece of equipment today, you're going to say, oh, this piece of equipment that's 20 years old is a heck of a lot better. Well, guess what was being said 20 years ago when that 20-year-old piece of equipment was brand new? This piece of equipment that's 40 years old is a lot better than this new age, or, this piece of equipment here. And the same thing was being said, and I preached about this before, the same thing was being said about when tractors came out and you had guys still doing farm work with horses. They said, this will never work, that tractor's not going to start, you're going to have too many problems, you're going to have problems getting fuel. My horse, I can go out there, I can kick it in the ass, I can hit it with a whip, and I can make that horse go. Well, yeah, you can make that horse go, but you got to have a team of horses on each end of the field to get your job done, because they can't handle doing the work. Going the whole length of the field, you end up ruining them. So that same argument was said way back when, and it's unfortunate. And then, different guys will say, oh, this is too hard to work on, or that's too hard to work on. We are always going to be hating the new age stuff. We're always going to want something that's 20 years older than what the present day piece of equipment is. And as far as today's equipment, you might have a sensor going off. Oh, you got a oil pressure sensor or a depth sensor or something. All you got to do is understand what the sensor is and just replace it. In the long run, yes, that machine stops performing, but in the long run, you're not going to have to worry about that machine failing because it had no oil pressure. It's going to be able to tell you that it had no oil pressure and hopefully shut down. Now that's kind of a poor example, but for the most part, this stuff will gain you some time. I know it loses you some time as well. But yeah. How's the weather down there? The damn weather. We don't have any rain in the forecast. We had one day last Sunday, which we could have planned, and we got rained out Saturday afternoon, and we didn't do anything Sunday. I did an oil change on the Ford. I loaded fertilizer. I moved stuff around with the corn planters, and we screwed around. We could have been planting by noon, but we made an executive decision to just do this other stuff, and it hasn't really rained to stop us at all. We have had different years where we'd have a week between plantings. We'd plant, it'd start raining, and bang. Now all we need is just to get this corn up out of the ground. If it's up out of the ground and we get any significant amount of rain, we should be in good shape. The field that I was on earlier, now this field here was disked about 3 hours before I got to it, so it's not as dusty here than it was on that farm that I was at earlier today, which was disked yesterday, and you couldn't see the planter through the back window of the tractor. Every once in a while, the dust would come up around the front of the tractor, and you wouldn't be able to see a damn thing. So, bless the Amish hearts, but with all due respect, they can't feed the world. That's exactly it. So, what technology have we, are we interested in that we haven't used yet? I can't think of anything offhand. This tractor did have a subscription on it. This is kind of unrelated, not really to what you're asking. This tractor did have the technology on it where it would turn the headland. In other words, it would be on auto steer and it would turn the headland. In other words, it would get so far from the exterior boundary, it would recognize that it was in planted ground. It would lift the implement up. It would turn the tractor on the end row, and it would set it back into the next pass, get it on its guidance line, and it would stay on auto guidance the whole time. We did not update or upgrade that subscription. It just wasn't worth it. I never even used it at all. But there is that technology that kind of goes in hand with the autonomous tractors, which aren't going to be practical in the region that we're in. Our fields the longest fields are 1,500 to 2,000 feet long. And this field that I'm in is 32 acres. Our average field size is somewhere around 13 acres. I'll share with you when we get done planting corn how many fields. Not necessarily going to tell you how many acres of corn we have, but I'll tell you how many fields that we have of corn, and it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 200. So just to give you a little perspective on that, some of these other farmers out west have 20 fields. That's all they have. They go into their display. They really don't know how to use their display as well as we do, because they're only going into it a couple times a day to set a guidance track, to set up another farm field name or what have you. We're changing boundary lines. We're going in and grabbing prescriptions all day long. I had, as a matter of fact, put this bar in that went between the windows or the corner posts so that I could get the display closer to where it generally mounts. These displays, when they originally were set up years ago, they were set up down on the floor, just down below the corner post on the tractor. So they were down, not pointing in the right spot. They were mounted to that bracket right there, and the display was setting right here like that. And you had to lean down every time to adjust your settings. I've got this one with an extended cord on it up to this bracket that is on the corner post, and I can reach right over and I can do everything right from the position that I am sitting in. It works a heck of a lot better than leaning down. And some of these guys that only go in to only have 10 different fields, their fields are larger, they do a boundary with their gator. They drive around it with their gator to make a boundary because they don't want to be bothered, because it's going to take them so long. They don't want to be bothered by recording that boundary with the tractor, whether they're planting that one right then and there or not. And I haven't been able to understand that one for the life of me, but oh well, I guess. So we've only got a couple of passes left here, and I want to say that I have carried on for over 3 hours, and I can't believe that we've been able to maintain an internet connection this well. So must be I had quite a bit of data still left over on my cell phone policy or what have you. I only have 25 gigabytes of data to use each month, and that gets divided up between, I don't know, there's 7 or 8 devices that are on my account, I believe. So, yeah, I hope I didn't piss in too many people's Cheerios here with topics that we have had at hand for the last 3 hours here. We went into some gray areas, whether it be politics or personal beliefs or feelings or whatever. It's all about feelings. We want to make sure that we are not stepping on anybody's feelings here. Yeah, so someone, J. Lou, is worried about, or Jay Lou has alluded to the fact that there are certain people that I believe that anything that any farmer is doing is helping to, in other words, anything that we're doing is contributing to climate change. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we are not going through or experiencing global warming or climate change. The differential in the temperature from one year to the next is a fraction of a decimal point. Go back to the Ice Age, and there has been climate change and global warming going on since the Ice Age. How do you think that a lot of this stuff was formed, and how do you think the different soils are in the different areas that they're in? Come on, people. Yeah. Farming, fixing, fabricating, and feelings, Tanner P. Yeah, that's all about feelings. Oh, boy. Let's see here. I've got some of the comments. I like the John Deere 7810. We had, speaking of 7810, we had that 7810 that burned a few years ago. And we have not done anything with that tractor yet. The engine's good. We're not sure what the transmission's like. We bought it back from insurance. We have taken a couple of parts off of it. We took the 3-point hitch arm off of it. I think we pulled a PTO shaft out of the back of it. Jared took a radiator hose off of it. And that's basically it. But that still sits up by the silo. We just have not taken the time to do anything with it. And back in, we had 1, 2, we had at least 4 7810s. Not all at one time. We had 2 at a time once. We had an idiot that was spread manure with a 4-wheel-drive 7810, which we bought used. It's a real nice tractor. It was a 19-speed power shift, 4-wheel drive, had a deluxe cab. It was a sugarcane tractor that came up out of Florida. It was only a couple years old when we got it. And we plowed with it, pushed bunk. We had a silage blade on it for a while. Pushed bunk with it, moldboard plowed. And then it went on a manure spreader and spread manure with it. I can't think of really any tillage. I guess we did tillage work with it. And we had a gentleman, I don't know if he was a gentleman or not, but he was spreading manure one day and he was drunk. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, was drunk. Went off the road, took the guy's mailbox down. The guy had a mailbox on a 8x8 rough cut lumber, rough cut timber post. Big, nice mailbox. He took the mailbox down, went off the road, went across one of our fields, and ran into a tree, totaled the tractor. I think, well, the fire department thinks he went out through the windshield, but being that he was drunk, his body did tense up, and he was just bruised up a little bit. But he got mouthy with the state trooper that come on the scene, and they arrested him. And they arrested him, and he got a DWI. And it was about 3 months later, maybe it was a year later, 9 months later, he got a second DWI on an ATV. If that tells you anything about that individual. And he ended up taking it upon himself to resign from the current position that he had at Horgan Family Dairy. Yeah, it was too bad, really. Yeah, let's see, we got a $10 super chat from D Hoop. He bought me a beer, D Hoop. Thank you, sir. Bill Murphy. I've never had any idiots. Come on, Bill. You know me too well. Let's see. We got a weather forecaster that says they've predicted weather. Yeah. Somebody bought a 7810 at an auction. What did it have? It had 6,000 hours on it. My father bought a 7810 brand new in 1998. And he ordered the tractor, and John Deere offered him a trip to Waterloo, Iowa, to drive the tractor off the assembly line to participate in that Gold Key event, and he didn't end up going. So, let's see. Farmer Jack and Roy says he can be a truck driver. We've had a lot of guys come and say that they can be truck drivers. And, yeah, there's a difference between a truck driver and a farm truck driver. Let's see, society is doomed. Yeah, 60s, oil's gone. 70s, the Ice Age. 80s, acid rain. 90s, the ozone. 2000, the ice caps are gone. And yeah, every generation, every 10-year ploy has its own boogeyman that they invent, and they want everybody to believe in it, you know. They said that there was, the glaciers are going to melt, and all the coastline cities were supposed to be underwater by 2007 or 2010, and the ocean level has risen like 0 inches. Adam Poirier, $20 super chat. Thank you very much, Adam. I don't know about intelligent conversation. I just keep rambling on, and I don't know how intelligent it is, but yeah. Whatever happened to oxen? 2020 Bud Light died. Yeah, D-Hoop, you're right. 2020 they died. I don't know why the elder enchilants of that company didn't have the brass cojones about them to say, hey, look, honey, look, you got it all wrong. Put your earbuds back in, sit in the back of this conference room, and keep your ideas to yourself. We're not going down this rainbow road. But no, they were so afraid of jeopardizing their millions of dollars that they had in their salaries to be said CEO that they stayed and kept their mouths shut. They were too afraid of rocking the boat for whatever reason, and the rest is history. And I don't know if any of you have followed what's been going on with Target and the other one that I heard about the other day? Oh, I forget now. Who was the other one that came to the table with their silliness? I forget. But, this bloke stuff is silly. I talked about it earlier, and I said I should not talk about that at all. And here we are again, and we're about to the end of the live stream here. So, we are working on our last pass. Technically not our last pass, but we're going to get up to the end of the field, and then we're going to have to make one more pass down through the field, and we're going to be done at the opposite end of the field. And the reason why we're done at the opposite end of the field, if you recall, when we started planting this field, we started on this west end. We came out of the hedgerow where that other field was, and we started on the west end. So we'll plug away here a little while longer with you folks here, and then we are going to call it a night here. So what farm equipment do you wish you had sooner? That's a loaded question. What's the next model tractor that I would like to have? That's another loaded question. We need about 3 different models of a feeding tractor, a tractor that's the size of a feed. Oh my God, I forgot. I can't believe I forgot. So the refreshment that my brother-in-law gave me, I just drank the rest of that, and it was really warm. So we need to pull our nice cold crisp. Oh my God, that is nice and cold. How long has that been in there? It's been in there a whirl. It's been in there a nice long whirl. So we'll get our vent, push back up in there. Oh, we turned our side wiper on. Oh boy, we're wiping. All right, so we'll put you guys back up right there. Come on, we'll drink one with you guys. So, this is a cool, crisp can. I wish I had one of them temperature gauge things that you could stick on here, and it would have different colors. But let me see how cold this is. Folks, I'm not gonna lie. This is just like you took it out of the refrigerator. If you don't believe me, any of you that have a 7 or 8,000 series tractor, a 7 or 8,000 R series tractor, put a can. Take a can, room temperature, put it in your vent for a half hour, and you tell me it's not as cold as a refreshment that you would get out of your refrigerator. It's dead nuts on. As long as I have found that as long as you're not shotgunning these refreshments, whether it be a can of soda or a bottle of milk or what have you, if you're just sensibly drinking this like you would drink a coffee, if I was continuing to have more ground to plant here tonight, I could take another refreshment here, shove it up in that vent, and by the time I got this one done, it would be ready and just as cold as this one is. This is pretty good. I'm not lying to you. This is as cold as a refreshment that you would get out of the refrigerator. Again, I wish I had a little temperature gauge or something, because I imagine some of you are probably thinking that I'm lying to you, but I would never lie to you. All a lie does is makes you tell another one. That's all. I'm still alive, Ronald. Yep. Oh boy. Life hacks, John Deere edition. That's a rainbow beer. Yes, you're right. It is a rainbow beer. I was going to put in today's video that, I was eating a turkey sandwich. I was going to show you my turkey sandwich. Yesterday I had a ham sandwich. I had Miller yesterday. So, yeah. So now my field view has kicked off, and yeah. So, it is just turning back on now. It's got 1, 2, 3 spots that it kicked off during this. Well, there's 33 acres. So that wet hole was just a small acre, about 3/4 of an acre, if I can remember right, from what I had for acreage before we started this field and what we have. Well, it'd be prior. What you're hearing now is it's telling me that rows 1 through 12 aren't planting because of section control, and the flow detection is going nuts. It's saying, hey, we're only delivering fertilizer out on a couple of rows here, and you've got the rest of the planters not flowing any fertilizer. So they need to kind of update that a little bit so that it's not only going off if there was an actual problem with corn being planted and fertilizer not being applied. So that, I guess, is going to do it for this field. So not only did you get to be able to plant 32 acres with me in this field, but you were able to plant 12 acres in the field next door. Now this is a 16-row planter. It's 40 feet wide. We had 1 fill up and 2 field starts. We started this live stream 3 hours and 25 minutes ago. Do the math on that. 3 hours, say 3.5 hours, divided by 45 acres. That's how many acres you can do an hour with a 16-row planter in the Northeast region, or in this Northeast region, with fields that are this size. Now I average somewhere around 4.2 to 4.5 miles an hour. I know you might have some guys, the pros, might say I go 6 miles an hour. Well, you can go 6 miles an hour. You might not get the seed spacing that we can do here, but it is what it is. So, with that being said, folks, that is going to do it for this video. I need to get this planter folded up and get on our merry way. So there's a couple more corn planting videos that I have to kick out to you, and then we're going to roll into chopping hay. So I want to thank each and every one of you for participating in this live stream. I don't know how many people we had at any given time. That what we have right now might be the most people we had all night, but currently there's 538 of you watching this idiot with neon sunglasses and a neon shirt talking in front of a camera, driving a corn planter, tractor and corn planter up across the field. So this was fun. I didn't plan on doing this live stream today. I didn't know I would be in a zone or an area where I would have as good an internet coverage that I had. Had I known or planned it, I would have announced it earlier. And those of you that are watching this on the repeat are probably going to be unhappy with themselves that they missed this actual live stream. But if I had planned on doing this live stream and told you that I was going to do it, it wouldn't have happened. So, with that being said, that is going to do it. I am going to write my notes down for this field, and we are going to roll on out of here. So, thanks again for joining in, folks. I also want to thank those of you that participated in the super chat. I hope I thanked everybody personally when they sent that in. If I forgot any of you, I apologize. But again, thanks again, folks. We are folded up, hitches up in the air, and we are going to roll on out of here. So take it easy, folks. We'll catch you. Well, I don't know when the next live will be, but you'll get a video here when you get one. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the following day. So we'll see you, folks. Take it easy.